Hey everyone, and welcome back to another VASAviation video. Today we are with Gema. Is that correct, Gema? Is that how you call it?
Gema Goeyardi, yeah. Hi, Victor.
Okay. So very nice to have you on VASAviation with
Thank you so much
for
to have me
this
here.
for this little talk about your bird strike incident occurrence at Van Nuys, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so again, thank you very much for being with
Thank
us,
you. Thank
and
you.
we'll be talking about your experience. So first of all, I'm going to read the introduction that I made to the video. If anything of this is a mistake, just let us know. It
Okay.
was a Beechcraft Baron 994 Whiskey Yankee performing flight from North Las Vegas to Van Nuys. Was on final approach when the pilot, aka you, declared Mayday, 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 reporting his windscreen had cracked, the cockpit was full of blood, you couldn't hear anything on the radio, and you needed to land immediately for medical assistance. So, first of all, Jima, let us know anything about you. You're a pilot for Baron, but you're a pilot for more airplanes. So, let us know a bit about you.
Yeah, thank you so much. My name is Gema Goeyardi. I'm based in California, but I'm Indonesian, so I live in California and Indonesia, Jakarta. I'm the owner of 14-Day Pilot Flight Academy. We're doing accelerated flight training and also 14-day pilot type rating for the 142 on progress now as per today. So the Baron that I flew is my personal airplane, so we're using that for leisure, not for training. But I fly almost all the singles, and I'm FAA Gold Seal flight instructor, double I, MEI, and also FAA Safety Representative Training Provider. For the jet side, I'm a captain of 737, 320, Citation 500, and I'm
Wow.
SIC for Airbus 330 and Embraer 145. Then yeah, it was a leisure flight to Las Vegas because we have been flown for the Grand Canyon and landed in Vegas. So we're taking the flight back to Van Nuys. That's what happened when the accident happened. I've been flying for 8 years, 9 years for now, and mostly doing the ferry flight as well. So I own a company called Astrojet, which is we're operator under Bermuda CAA. We're 124 operator to deliver the airplane like a ferry operator, and also FAA and Cayman registry. That's what I normally do when I fly the jets. Currently holding ATP FAA and then another 4 countries ATPL that I hold for now. Yeah, I'm really glad that
Wow.
I survived, and hopefully this will be a story for everybody. And if you happen to have this kind of accident, maybe you can learn from my situation. And
Of course.
yeah, it
That's also
wasn't crack
the
though. I mean, I was so panicked and used the word crack because I don't know what kind of word to show that, but probably shatter is the best one because there's no window left. There wasn't window left
yeah.
when that
Actually, it
accident. Yeah.
exploded, right? It
Yes, exactly.
completely broke.
Correct, correct.
So yeah, the point, of course, as a pilot myself as well, I have never experienced a bird strike, or at least that I know of, because I remember once that I felt some kind of a bump also while watching some birds passing by, but on the ground I didn't see any blood or any feathers, so I just thought it was just nothing. So as a pilot myself, of course, a very important event. Of course, we have the pleasure to have you here to talk about it. You were there, you suffered the bird strike, and you landed the aircraft. So who better than you to explain it? So that's also the point, to learn about the situation. Also, kind of take your position and how it failed, how you reacted, because finally we're human beings. Of course, we are in
Exactly.
a lot of training. We train burst drive, we train engine failures many, many times a year. But finally, when you are there and you suffer the incident, we are human beings. So we will review the video along with your communications,
Yes.
and yeah, let's do it.
Yep.
It's gonna be good.
SoCal 994 Whiskey Yankee, frequency change to Van Nuys, please.
Okay, let's stop that first. I'll give you. Yeah. So in this case, I was in the VFR flight. It's very long base. We can say that it was like long base. It's about like maybe 12, 13 miles. It's
Yeah.
exactly like before New Hall Pass, and then it was 5,000 feet, 180 knots ground speed. Well, we're still descending, and I see the runway, and the SoCal probably not busy, but maybe they forgot about us. So this is a flight following. In the FAA world, we're flying VFR far away. So I asked for flight following, then I asked for handover to tower because it was nighttime, no traffic. I assume then, because we're not under IFR anyway. But I'm planning to track down the glide slope with the ILS. But this is the PFR
Yeah.
flight. Yeah, so that's the last conversations. I still remember the moment I said frequency change, then suddenly maybe like 3 seconds or 4 seconds, everything explode.
Wow. Approximately about, because I have never flown Baron, I have flown Seneca, but
Okay.
approximately what indicated airspeed were you
Oh
doing?
yeah.
Because we have, with the ADS-B data that we show on the radar animation, there you go. We are now showing 2,800 feet MSL and 160 knots, but those are ground speed. So about what indicator airspeed you're doing there?
It's about like the ground speed is about what, like 17 plus 170 to 180. Somehow about 170. Yeah, you're pretty accurate there. But I guess either 5,000 or 2,800. I'm not really remember, but I remember the last time I saw the altimeters, it was like 5,000 and we're descending. Probably when I call this is about like 28 or 3,000
Oh,
when that happened.
probably because the radar animation is not in synchronization with your uh, incident. So the incident
Yeah,
happened way before this
way
position of the
before the
aircraft,
final.
right
Way
here.
before the final. Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, that's important because we, just for the viewers to know, we take real ADS-B data from your airplane and we
Yeah.
just import that data into our software. And then the synchronization with the audio is sometimes a little bit
Correct.
difficult because
Because
pilots don't say
based on these
altitude. So,
pictures, yeah, based on these pictures, I don't think this airplane will turn, because when I call the emergency, it's about to turn to the final. Yeah, it's
okay,
just
got it.
like during the turn, actually during the turn I
You
got
were
blown up.
actually doing the turn. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Which actually makes it more difficult because if you're
Yes.
in a good stable flight, okay, you just get hit, struck by the
Exactly.
birds and you just keep it flying. But of course, if you're turning, the distraction can
Yes.
get you turn more and bank and crash.
It
So
was the it was a flight with the autopilot when I turned.
uh-huh.
So that's why when I took over, I disconnect everything, fly manual, all the way down. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So let's
Yeah.
go
Let's
on with the
continue.
audio and the Mayday is about to come now.
Yeah.
19.3 up to 9. Baron 4 Whiskey Yankee, Van Tower 119.3.
So I didn't hear this.
Yeah, of course. I guess you're
Mayday,
now.
Mayday, Mayday.
Wow.
4 Whiskey Yankee in the house. We go flag. November 994 Whiskey Yankee, how do you hear us? Southwest 1937 cross, sound like bus 4, cleared ILO Zulu 8 approach, just acknowledge this ident. That it.
Yes, just a quick note to the controller here. Super straight and fast move for that Southwest to only acknowledge with a den, because I guess he already identified that you were in a problem, you're in trouble.
So the
So
case here, I
I
didn't
guess
talk with
he
SoCal
didn't want
anymore.
Southwest to occupy the frequency anymore.
Yeah, I didn't call with SoCal anymore, because at this
Uh-huh.
point I already switched myself to Van Nuys Tower because I didn't hear
Yeah.
anything from SoCal. So I immediately switched to the tower because I see the runway, and then I call Mayday to the tower frequency, not to the SoCal, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, but as I combine both frequencies, I guess
Okay.
the so-called controller already guessed that you were in trouble, so
Correct.
he didn't want Southwest to occupy the frequency so much. So a quick note to him as well, because he was fast
Yes, that's
there,
true.
just in case you were still on the frequency, just if you needed to communicate anything, you had the frequency for you. So very good. Continue.
November 994 Whiskey Yankee, SoCal approach.
He's actually still insisting on
November
you.
Yes.
994 Whiskey Yankee, Van Nuys Tower. You on frequency?
Van Nuys, Mayday. 994 Whiskey Yankee. We have no flag, immediate landing. I cannot hear you.
That audio, that part of the audio is scary for me. And
Yeah.
let's replay that moment in your head and in all the heads here watching this video. What is your thought at that moment, and I mean everything. What is your experience at this precise moment?
Okay, you can see on the screen. All right. I will send you some pictures that took by the passengers behind. You can show it later. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
So, all right. So let's see the photos here took by the passengers. If you can see, I don't have the window at all, and the most terrified moment is when I look to my partner, because why look at him? First, I didn't have the window, and then I see a lot of blood in my hand, and
Wow.
the blood was everywhere in my panel. So lucky my Baron got a 2 PFD. The left side is the Garmin G500, and then the right side is Aspen Avionics. So basically, even I was sitting on the right side, I still have my PFD. I don't have to see the left side. So
Okay, so you were sitting on the right side. That's
yes,
a good note as well.
yes. So I saw my partner all blood there, and I was so terrified because I just thinking like, what was happened? The first 10 seconds, I blame my airplane. It's like, why this airplane gave me this kind of troubles? Because I took care of the airplane very well. I never torture my airplane. Why you did that to me, you know? And then
Yeah.
suddenly I just, after 10 seconds, I thought that this is probably not my airplane. Probably we hit an airplane, like mid-air collision, or I hit a drone, something like that. Because it's not makes sense. My windshield was new. It's a new windshield. So the airplane is really good shape, but why it exploded? What happened here? I don't know.
So even though you were seeing the blood all over the cockpit, you didn't think that it was a bird.
Yeah, because I thought it was my partner blood. So
Okay. Got
yeah,
it.
I feel so bad about him. It's like, oh damn, my window hit him, and then he got injured by my airplane. So that was in my
Correct.
mind.
And that's why you're requesting medical assistance immediately.
Exactly. Exactly.
Correct.
Turns out my partner got fractured, and then like three cuts on his face. I mean, like the blood is combination between his blood and then the bird blood, and then he keeps shaking like this all the time. Keep shaking like
I
this.
guess.
Yeah, because it was so cold over there, and then he felt so painful wound, right? And then yeah, looking him like keep shaking like this, cannot say anything. I was so scared and nervous. That's why the only way I can do it, I just remember call Mayday, and I have the control disconnect the autopilot, and then I have to fly manually. The autopilot is Century 4. It's an old autopilot. It could hold the altitude. It can track down the approaches, but again, we're not set up for the ILS. That's why I have to disconnect everything. Then I add the power, because the thing that we don't want in any emergency on the twin, you don't want to fly low and fly slow, right?
Correct.
And then I don't even know whether the problem with the engine, maybe some parts of the engine like tear off in the air and then fell off and hit my windshield. Probably that happened. So
Yeah,
I
that makes
add the
sense.
power. Yeah, I add the power slowly because it was my consideration. Probably the right engine tear off or something, and then it hit my window, right? So I add the power. The moment I add the power, the airplane shaken. Maybe because too many air come in. Then from that
Probably
point, I
just
realized,
track.
yes, and I cannot handle the air coming because the air is too much, and so I know for sure I cannot go around in this, because if I go around, we're probably dead. And I still waiting which part of my body that full pain, because every blood on my body, but I didn't feel any pain. So I just wait. Maybe the reaction will be late, but thanks God, I don't feel anything. So I continue fly. The other thing is I put the landing gear down because I don't want the Baron landing with the landing gear.
Yeah. So of course
So
the
yeah.
landing gear at that point, if you're about 5,000 feet turning to final, of course the landing gear was up at that point.
Yes, exactly. So I remember it's like 1,000 feet below. I can make a stable approach. Then I put the landing gear, run the checklist. I still remember I still run the checklist that time, pick up the checklist and see the landing checklist, even though some of the memory items. But
Yeah.
I mean, like there's no checklist for this kind of situation. But of course, the
Of
landing
course.
checklist must be done no matter what, right?
Of course, yeah. At
Yeah,
least the flap speed, landing gear. Of course, you
exactly.
don't want to create a problem from another problem. So
Yes, yes.
it's very cool to have you explain all these thoughts that were
Hmm.
in your mind at that point, because when you were saying you don't want to be slow and low, of course that's a fact. But with a broken windshield, the thing that I was thinking about it was like, okay, reduce your speed
Hmm.
to have a more comfortable view of the,
Yes,
out the window. But of course, at that point, you didn't know it was a bird strike. You thought it was maybe an engine failure,
correct.
indeed. So of course, your thought was the opposite. So it was power up and keep the girl flying. Doesn't matter why and how. But of course, yeah, that it
Yeah,
makes so much sense. So of course, let's continue. You
yeah.
are, let's say you are on final now.
So if you see here for a
No, no,
while,
no, no.
the Van Nuys tower say 1.6 stride shortened because we have NOTAMs. The 1.6 stride they cut it from 8,000 to only 6,000 because they have the construction like repair for the taxiway. That's why they say that several times.
That
It was not.
construction was at the beginning of the runway.
Yeah, so we
Okay.
we have the displaced threshold before. Now they cut it.
Mm-hmm.
Even the runway is like become 6,000, around 6,000 feet now. That's why a
Okay.
lot of construction there. They didn't want me to land and panic and hit all the construction. Then that will be a catastrophe.
Actually, again, it's not creating a problem from another problem. So
Yes,
imagine everything goes fine, the plane is flying just okay, and you, for some reason, in all the panic, just land on a vehicle or on persons
exactly.
even.
Yeah,
So yeah. So of course you were aware of the construction, but just the Van Nuys Tower was making sure that you know
we
that.
were.
Uh, yeah, of course. Okay, let's continue.
Straight short and clear to land.
Yeah.
Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. 994 Whiskey Yankee. It is the last two.
November 994, Whiskey Yankee, Van Nuys Tower, runway 16 right shortened, cleared to land.
Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. 994 Whiskey Yankee. We are window crack. We cannot hear anything. Immediate landing. Landing 16 right.
November 994, Whiskey Yankee, Van Nuys Tower, runway 16 right short and clear to land.
I don't know if Tower already knew your problem, or if he was
Okay,
hearing to your request, or
I spoke with the airport manager because they came to me. Everybody on the ground knows the problems, but they don't know what really happened. It's like they thought I had communication failure. That's what they thought,
uh-huh.
right? So they didn't hear about the window shatter or crack. So now
That's what I think. Yeah.
all the viewers, when you guys listen to the live ATC, you thought that, why the tower's not understand, because the tower didn't hear anything. That's a
Correct.
problem as
Correct.
well, right?
Correct.
And then
That's also a point that I explain to the viewers of my channel, that I try to do every day in the comment section, that we are listening to a recording, but the headset and the pilots are different to the recording. The
correct.
headset and the controller can be coordinating with another controller and can be doing more things and not just listen to the audio like we are doing. So of course the situations are different for each of us.
Yeah, and then when I say we need medical, then they just aware, hey, something is not right. Initially, they just
Yeah.
thought I had a communication issue. Only as simple as that. Even when I call Mayday, because here's the deal: in the FAA world, general aviation is really, really extremely rare people using the Mayday. So
I guess.
it's
I
really
know.
rare. I'm an ICAO pilot as well. So when I learned the first time about aviation, I learned about the Mayday and Pan. Now,
Correct.
if the communication problem, probably I'm gonna use the Pan instead of the Mayday. Now, when I use the Mayday, I believe they should
Mayday
aware
is
that
life or death.
something wrong, right? So it's fine. Anyway, when I say we need a medical, then They just wear. That's what airport ops say to me. When you say medical, now they start thinking something wrong. Maybe there's a passenger sick or something like that. So
Yeah.
that's how it started. Yeah.
Very good point for the viewers, and I know FAA is different, but same pan pan and Mayday is not. It really makes a difference on how controllers will manage your situation. Even saying pan pan, I mean Mayday, in a different tone of voice. It's not the same that I say Mayday, that shouting Mayday with your voice. Of course, you're in panic and you're in a very bad situation. So
Correct.
that's
Correct.
important communication. And yeah, you did fantastic, because repeating we need medical, that was actually the perfect call for the controller. Realized that, hey, this guy is in trouble. And even if it was medical, just a sick passenger that is, let's say, minor emergency, of course, compared to what you had, but of course that gets their attention, and
Yes.
and they know. So okay, let's continue.
We need medical.
Or 994 Whiskey Yankee, Van Nuys Tower, running one
Again.
try shortened, cleared to land. What is the nature of the medical emergency, if you can hear this transmission?
We have runway inside straight in. We need a medical.
Or 4 Whiskey Yankee, Van Nuys Tower, understood. We've got emergency vehicles that'll be standing by. Runway 16 right short and clear to land. Crash 114 Van Nuys. Aircraft is approximately a mile and a half final. And as soon as they get over threshold, we'll get you guys going. Unknown nature of the medical emergency.
You can even hear the wind blow as you were
Yes.
speaking. You can even hear the wind blow in the background. That's scary.
And I cannot hear my own voice, because in the headset you can hear your own voice, right? The side.
Yeah,
the side
correct.
tone. I cannot hear that, number one, and number two. If you see that, what is the nature of emergency? It means they don't even understand my window is gone, because I think there's a cut in the communication, so they didn't hear us.
Yeah, they just understand, and maybe not the medical part.
Yes.
And that's all. And I guess later is when you get on the ground, you get to the parking, and vehicles come around you, and they see that your windshield is gone,
Yeah. Correct.
literally gone. That's amazing. For me, it's amazing. Let's continue.
Van Nuys, we have runway at your final. We need to land soon.
Or 994 Whiskey Yankee, Van Nuys Tower, runway 16 right short and clear to land.
Need to land.
Now I can hear them.
Still,
Now I can hear
now
them.
you can,
Yeah.
probably because you're coming slower, and
Correct.
and
Correct.
actually correct, and the noise is less.
Yes.
So at this point, you can hear the controllers now. You're still communicating, which is very good. You just didn't focus just on flying, but of course you didn't. You had time to communicate as well, to continue saying, hey, we're on final, we're emergency, we need medical, etc.
Because what I really scare, Van Nuys is the busiest GA airport in the world. So there's like airplane takeoff and landing every 30 seconds to 45 seconds. Now, if the bird or any problem in my airplane cause any lost comm, if I didn't keep announce myself, it's like I'm gonna take this as a non-tower airport, because if I did not keep saying that, it will be on me if there's a aircraft mid-air or any runway incursions, because of I'm not self-announcing myself. So I don't think, I mean, like, no matter whether they hear me or not, as long as I don't have any positive established two communications, that's what in my mind I need to keep talking about my position and what my intention. And hopefully,
that's a very good point also, because I didn't think of that. Because of course your airplane is very noisy. You don't know if your airplane is fine or not.
Yeah.
You don't hear controllers, so yet you don't know if controllers are hearing you. So also you can consider that whatever the problem is on board can cause also a communication problem. So
correct.
That's really cool. I'm learning a lot with you. With those and this is just a matter of seconds. Maybe I don't know, 1 minute or 2 minutes from the bird strike to landing. So it's many things to consider, many things to manage, and that's awesome. I had a question for you. At this point, you're on short final. Did you receive, also because there were many comments about this topic, did you receive any light gun from tower?
No, because to be honest, tower didn't know what happened. That's the problem now, right? They didn't know whether I can hear them. Maybe they just thinking like maybe the lost ground, but I didn't see any lights. Even if they give me the lights, I will never see the tower because I focus to see the runway and I make sure that I'm not losing the runway because it was night and it's very dark.
Yeah, of course you were going to land anywhere,
Yeah,
anyway.
and the other thing, I had one experience with the light gun signal. It's really small though. I mean, you barely can see it from a distance. If you want to see the light gun signal, you have to be really above the runway. You're gonna see the lights, but if you're like 10 miles away, there's no way for you to see the in the nighttime. You see the light gun signal is really hard to see. It's almost impossible.
I thought of this when I was editing the video and just copy paste the part of the controller, just 494 Whiskey Yankee, clear to land, runway shorting, whatever, clear to land, 5 times. And I was like, did he ever try to light gun green lights so they can land? And they didn't. Okay.
No, because if they did that, they're gonna announce to the radio anyway. So maybe they also didn't know what happened. But again, even they did it, there will be no time for me to saw the tower. What I focus is I just see the runway and make sure I'm not too low because in that panic I could be come into the black hole approach or like night visual illusion, and I have to make sure I'm not in that situation. So I come a little bit high and then I chop the power right away and I'm gliding the airplane because I don't want to be low and dragging in and then hit something. You know.
At that speed, I guess the Baron can land at, I don't know, 80, 90, 100.
It should be 90. Yeah, it should be 90. So I put about like 100 above the runway intentionally. Then I just glide. Yeah.
At that point, did you need to maybe cover your face for wind or anything? You were comfortable just flying just fine.
Yeah, so that's what I call miracle in the air. I think God took a lot of part there, and people say that's not on God, that's on me. No, I mean like my partner asked, how can you land the airplane like that? And I said, why you even ask that? I mean like people, I didn't realize that people think a lot of air is gonna blow me up, but I believe God put like invincible wall in front of me, then taking care of me that I can land the airplane, because I didn't feel much issue on that, you know.
How many people were on board? You and your partner only two?
Three.
Oh, three.
Yeah, because I asked the passenger behind, and he always do the brace for impact because he cannot going up like that. The wind hit him directly. That's why I'm confused. Like my holes in front of me, the windshield in front of me is really empty. I mean, like it's really big hole there. The left side has like 25% of the windshield. So even the 25%, my partner cannot wipe out the blood covering his eyes. That's why he always see the blur runway, because the blood is sticking in the eyes and he cannot remove it because the wind blown so strong. But on my side, even though I didn't have like full window, it's like full empty there, I didn't feel too much wind. So that's what we call a miracle in flight.
that absolutely sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's continue with the audio. You get on the ground.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Forest Yankee again, use caution. Runway 16 right is shortened, sir.
It's like the 6th or 7th time that.
Yes.
And there you go. It's an.
You see what I'm saying? It's like okay.
Let's just go to the photo there.
My part is gone. There's no window, but my partner's side is 25%. So even with that remaining window, he cannot wipe out the blood in front of his face. But on my side, I can still see outside with very clear view. That's what I call miracle.
Wow. Let's continue with this little part of audio here.
Baron Whiskey Yankee, you landed safely. Thank you so much. And then we're going to take it the runway and taxi to southwest corner. We need a medical.
Baron 4 Whiskey Yankee, understood. Do you want to just get the medical assistance on taxiway Alpha, sir?
Negative. We're going to taxi to southwest corner and I need medical there in American Aviation, please.
Baron 4 Whiskey Yankee, understood. Taxi to southwest corner of Alpha. What is the nature of the medical emergency, sir?
Okay, we have a cockpit window cracked. I think we hit something. I'm not sure what, but my window was okay, and suddenly it's cracked. And my my other pilots got a lot of blood here because of the window crack.
It's not autopilot, it's a co-pilot, yeah.
Yeah, it's other pilot actually. Yes,
Yeah.
I made a mistake there. I'm
It's
sorry
fine,
about
it's
that.
fine.
So you vacated the runway and you were just able to taxi just fine to the parking spot?
Yeah, they offer me to stop anywhere in the runway, but I don't want to block the runway. We can taxi, get out from the runway anyway, right? And then they even asked me to stop on the taxiway, but there's no need to stop there. Just taxi to the ramp, the hangar. And during the taxi, I talked to my passengers, like, take a look, maybe you'll find some bird or something like that. And then he found it. He found a feather, and then he just confirmed it. So I knew for sure what happened after we get out from the runway.
Yeah, because you see feathers, and of course that's
Yes.
100% sure. What was it? Actually, the bird was the actual whole bird was still in the aircraft, or?
Okay, if you can see in the photos, the bird was stuck on the ceiling. It was a herring gull. It's like a seagull, okay? And I found the head cut on the really back side, like on the baggage compartment. So I got one tiny the head. So it's like probably like 6 pounds bird, something like that. So it's a seagull. Yeah.
Wow. So let's just continue to the end because I enjoyed so much, and
A lot of
let's do
blood
it.
here because of the window crack. Yeah, I think we got a bird strike.
Now you
We're
realize.
already at the American Aviation hangar. Everything is good. Thank you so much for the help. Oh, we're freezing cold here. Lucky we're landed safely. We got a lot of blood inside the cockpit, and then we got a lot of feather here, so it's confirmed positive. We got a big bird on final, and that's what's the cause.
Mayday. I landed, everything's smooth. When I start, I cannot hear them. So my partner got all blocked, and then maybe just scratched in the chain. But after we landed, we just realized that it was a bird, and then it stuck on
That's awesome.
the ceiling there. So it's pretty big bird, I believe. Yeah.
That's awesome. So after all this, I guess the FAA contacts you for investigation or something, or?
FAA never called me. FAA never called me because they don't have. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna call me, but NTSB called me that night and then had an interview, and they sent me letters. Yeah, so I just comply because I'm the alumni of NTSB aircraft accident investigation anyway, so I know what's the protocols and then how to provide the data. Then I just comply and helping them provide all the data that they need, because they say that they will see the photos to determine whether this is an accident or incident, because the substantial damage will be counted based on how many windows remaining. If that less than 25%, right?
Correct,
Or
percentage.
yeah, I mean, like if that the 25% of the whole windows gone, it will be substantial damage, and they will categorize it as accident. So I told the investigator, hey, this is 25% left, not 25% minimum reduced from the whole. Yeah, probably they're gonna categorize this as an accident. I don't know. We're just gonna wait.
I don't know how to react to that, because for me, I don't know, it's difficult because the damage is obvious, and it's a pretty big damage. It's not a windshield crack like a little bird can cause. It's just the window is gone. The window just broke. And had you had any other bird strikes in the past?
No, this is my first time, and then the first time was so bad. And when we talk about the wildlife, I showed them the head, and they said this is about like 60 centimeters bird. That's why I'm saying like this is a big bird. I was right. I mean, like 60 centimeters is not small. So with the momentum and everything, I calculated it's probably like more than 1,000 kilograms momentum. Like the impact is more than 1,000 kilograms. It's like 1.6 tons. That's why we got all.
Just imagine, it's crazy. Also the miracle part, because just imagine the bird goes through and hits you in the face.
Exactly.
So this gets me to another question, and is is your partner a pilot as well?
Yes, he was my student
Okay,
before. So he's a private
actually, so you
pilot.
were two
Yeah,
pilots.
yeah, we're pilots.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
and
just just imagine, because the Baron, I guess, is single pilot.
yes, that's a single
Okay, so
pilot.
just imagine your partner on the left is just a friend of yours, and it's not a pilot, and just the bird goes through, hits you in the face, you come unconscious, and
We're
now
done,
what?
man. We're done. There's no way to land the airplane. I mean, that's what I always talk to everybody, including my students. When you fly the airplane, no matter what, you got to know in and out about the airplane. Because if you're flying without the emergency and you don't know about the airplane, it's fine. But if there's an emergency, you don't know about the systems, you don't know about the limitations, that will be a big problems. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah, everyone I fly with in the little airplanes, when we go just for fun, I explain the basics. So just in case I go sick
Correct.
or hit by a bird, they can at least defend themselves with the airplane. I don't know if they will land safe or not safe, but at least have an opportunity
Correct.
to survive if I just go out. So very good, Gema. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you
My honor.
here. You're actually the first person to be on a VASAviation video in this kind of
Wow.
interviews,
Wow.
because this is actually kind of videos that I want to do with some of the pilots of the videos and controllers and everything. And we have more prepared, but you are the very first one. And it was a very great pleasure to have you here, because the incident me a lot, and it was perfectly handled by you. ATC
Thank you.
contributed a lot just on their part, because they were not very sure what was happening. But in your part, as a pilot myself, I just congratulate you.
Thank you. And then I really express my gratitude to Van Nuys Tower and SoCal, and especially Airport Ops. They came so fast and evacuate my co-pilot, went to hospital right away, and they helped me a lot. I'm really thankful
So
for
actually,
that.
the medical assistant was really needed. So he had some scratches and
He
things on
got
their
some
face.
cuts, yeah,
Cuts,
and
okay.
fractured, yeah.
So of course the medical was real, and they helped with that as well. So again,
Sure.
Gema, it's been a huge
Thank you.
pleasure. If you want to say anything to the VASAviation viewers, please do now. And again, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, number one, every time you fly, pray first if you believe in God. So hopefully he will protect you. Number two, you're a pilot in command. You should know your airplane from tip to tip, nose to tail. At least do the best to understand what happened, and always think inside your head: if something happened, what are you gonna do? What is your emergency plan? Where is your airport to go, right? And number four, make sure that you have a good plan for any flight planning. Make sure you're not flying in nighttime terrain area. If you need emergency, and if you fly in a mountainous area, that will be a problems. And you got to know, flying at night during the full moon, that's based on my research after this accident. Please avoid the area of the birds, especially the bird migration, because the full moon will make some birds, including the seagull, to fly up to 12,000 feet during the full moon at night. And during my accident, I flew to the south and the bird migrated to the north. It's like 100% direct impact. That's why this happened. During the emergency, you don't want to fly low. You don't want to fly slow. Get the altitude, get a power and wing level at all time. The wing level will save your life, because if the wing is not level, you will come into a stall and spin. When you come to the spin, it's really hard to recover. That's how the loss control in flight happened. So far, I'm really glad to share this to you. Blue sky always, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Gema. Anything can happen at any time. So again, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for watching. Here's Gema, the pilot of 94 Whiskey Yankee at Van Nuys, and see you in the next one.